Okay, I'm back for part two. Um, let's get back to the hive, and let's look at what we did. All right. So what am I doing? Bookmark. No. Bookmarks. VS new hive. There we go. There's my spot. Transfer. Okay. So now we're back at the hive. So we actually found a really good target, and let me put my war gear back on since I'm holding prisoners. And so I took some casualties from that burning I just did. So I've got a lot of injured troops. But that's okay. I'm going to heal them. All right, stack. T4, as you can see, are very expensive to heal. So that's going to take a long time to heal all those guys. So, what's great about Lords Mobile is that you can learn from what you do. All right, so I think the rest of these guys, yeah. Okay, so let's try to get rid of everything. We attacked on Bitang, whatever that is. That person. Okay, so let's get rid of everything besides that. Just to make it easier for viewing. Okay. That's not on Bitang. Ah, no. See, I screw up in this game all the time. Don't feel like you're doing a bad job. Just look at me. I'm terrible. So, that's the guy we started off with. Guy had, 300k plus of each T3. That's, nine. I mean, he had close to 1,000,000 troops, and we killed them all. So, now, could I have made these attacks better? Absolutely. But I'm not wonderful at this game. I'm okay. So here's our first attack. We got some resources, got some experience. We lost 90,000. I lost 90,000 troops. He lost 283,000. I lost 3 million might. He lost 5 million might. That was a tough battle. Did I think Cavalry Wedge was the optimal way to go? Maybe not. But we had to get his wall down, right? And he had some 125,000 traps. So we lost a lot of our T4, mostly T4, T4 cavalry, and we were in a cavalry wedge. So if you look at cavalry wedge, our cavalry was right up front. So of course they were going to take the brunt of the damage because they were the first ones to get to the wall. So we go back here. So he lost mostly his Royal Guard. because cavalry counters infantry. So he also lost a little bit of cavalry, and then he lost some T2 troops that are really negligible, right? So that was our first battle. I scouted him again. If you notice, he has no wall hit points now because in our first attack we took down the wall. And you remember that we took most of his Royal Guard down. That's why we lost so much cavalry. So now he still has a lot of snipers, or T3 cavalry and T3 range, and not as many T3 infantry because we took it out on the last battle. And then he's got, still some fire trebuchets left, some T2 and T1 stuff down there. So we attacked him again. This time, we took less losses and he took more. We lost 54,000 and he lost 300,000. I switched to infantry phalanx, and he was also an infantry phalanx. So how it says that we killed 304,000 troops, but kill is a bad word because if you look at it, 304,000 were dead. That means that his infirmaries are full. Let's go back and look at the first attack. He has 163,000 wounded and 114,000 dead. And that equals 283,000. So on our first attack, we filled up his infirmaries. He only has 163,000 beds in his infirmary. So everything after the first attack is going to be red deads. Okay? Once infirmaries are full, everything else after that is dead. All right, so that was our second scout. This was our second attack. So all that 300,000 on our second attack ended up as reds. Wall wasn't damaged because the wall was already down. Battle report. We attacked the second time with an even mix pretty much of cavalry and range and a little bit of infantry. We lost all of our infantry and some of our cavalry. He lost a lot of infantry. He lost half of his cavalry. Didn't lose any of his range. Why didn't he lose any of his range? Anybody want to guess? He is an infantry phalanx. Where's the range in infantry phalanx? It's in the back. So, I attacked an infantry phalanx, and he attacked an infantry phalanx. That's why I lost all that infantry and cavalry, and we didn't touch his range. Did he touch our range? Let's see. Our range took no losses, and his range took no losses because both of our range was in the back. And this is the way you kind of have to start thinking about battles. Okay? So, and then it breaks it down even further, and you can go through that. But for our purposes, we don't need that. Okay. So, we scouted him again. He has next to no infantry left. He has a good amount of snipers and about half of his cavalry left. Okay? And still got some negligible other stuff. We attacked him again. This time we lost minimal, very minimal troops. And he lost 300,000. All 300,000 were dead, which is awesome. Okay. I had some dead too. It happens. Battle report. Okay, so our losses came from our infantry because we attacked an infantry phalanx. Infantry was up front. His infantry was up front. So we attacked with mostly infantry this time, and then some cavalry and some range. He lost almost... So he didn't have many infantry left to begin with, and his infantry was up front. So, of course, he lost all of his infantry. And then, since his cavalry was right there after the range, or after the infantry, he lost all of his cavalry. And then since his range was in the back, it was the last thing to get hit. And what's cool about this, if all this stuff doesn't make sense, go back up here. View battle. Let's see how this actually played. Does it play like I actually said? Okay, so we started the battle. Familiar spawn. They cast their spells. Here comes the battle. If you can see, we're both in infantry phalanx. My infantry and his infantry right up front. Cavalry in the middle. Ranged bringing up the rear. They engage. Cavalry or infantry engage first. Cavalry's right behind them. And the range is just going to stay in the back and fire. Our range moved up a little bit as we wear down their infantry and cavalry. This takes a little bit. Okay, at this point, their infantry and their cavalry is annihilated. The only thing they have left is their range and their little bit of siege in the very, very back. So now my entire army, my infantry, my cavalry, and my rangers all moving up to take out their ranged. And then they retreated. And as you can see, they were retreating with their range and their siege. So, did any siege survive? By a battle report, yeah. Their fire trebuchets took 0 deaths. We only killed half, not even half, of their range. So yes, their range and their siege survived. Okay, cool. Next scout. We scouted again. All they have left is half of their snipers, their siege, and a couple of T1 archers. Okay? So basically just range and siege. That's all they got left. And by the way, I was very lucky to get this matchup on a video. Normally I like search and search and search and can't find anybody to hit. So this is very lucky. Alright. Last attack. We captured the enemy leader because we annihilated his entire forces. We took most of all of his resources too. Because we didn't get any food, any rocks, any wood, any ore. And only got 1,200 and some gold. By the way, this guy's going to be pissed when he comes back to the game. He is going to be pissed. All right, we only took 683 losses. We attacked an infantry phalanx again, and this time 200,000 was the rest of his troops, and he lost them all, and they're all dead. Wall was already down. We damaged... he had some traps left. Whatever. So, we attacked with full infantry because he has range, and infantry counters range. And we slaughtered him. That last attack, we attacked with T4, and he's defending with T3, and he's only defending with 165,000 troops and a little bit of siege, and we're coming at him with 246,000 T4. We slaughtered him. There's just no contest. And then our infantry was right up front. His range was in the back. So if you want to look at that, I'm pretty sure the way it's going to go is our infantry just has to run up to the range and kill him. So the wall goes down immediately because the wall has 0 hit points left. Then they're going to fire at us, but our infantry is just charging until they get to their range, and then we're a hard counter to them. And look, it was just a slaughter. Look at their morale's at 15% already. And then we just knocked out the rest of their siege, and they're dead. Got their leader. Bang, captured. Yay, they're all cheering. Okay, so that was a breakdown of those scouts and those battles. And I just wanted to do this so you guys can kind of see who've never done battles before how it kind of works. If you guys got any questions on how to burn, or if you're interested in learning more, we got that School of Rock channel in line you can join. Ask me personally. I'll help you. But this is the basic mechanics. I mean, it's not difficult. Like I said, you have your basic You have your basic mechanics of infantry, range, and horses. And then you have your heroes. You have your different phalanxes. And it tells you right there who's going to be up front, who's going to be in the middle, who's going to be in back. In each one of these. And here, kind of the horses and the infantry are up front. And then look at your heroes. Look at all your heroes. Get familiar with your heroes. I know that Trickster is not going to do anything in a battle. He has no battle stats whatsoever. If you're looking for straight army attack, look at that. Rose Knight's got 20 attack army boost. Lore Weaver's got 20 attack army boost. Centaur has army defense and cavalry attack. Get familiar with each one of what they do. Scarlet Bolt, she has some infantry defense. I'm not really going to use her in attacking people because I don't use defense heroes. I use all attack all the time. What about Witch Doll? Construction speed, research, training. Not going to use her to attack with either. What about Prima Donna? Siege engine, siege engine, siege engine attack. I don't attack with siege. I'm never going to use her. Ever. What about Death Knight? Cavalry defense, HP boost. HP boost is nice. What about Snail Princess? Familiar training, don't care. Range attack boost, not much. Wonder max coalition size. I'm not battling for wonders right now, so I'm not going to use her either. So get familiars. Get familiar with your heroes. What about the big guy? Why do I use him? Infantry attack boost, 30%. Infantry defense boost, 50%. He's a decent guy to have in infantry. compared to, let's say, here's a free-to-play infantry guy. Demon Slayer. Infantry max HP 50%. Great. Infantry attack boost. Infantry 30%. Great. He's a great infantry hero to use. But yeah, just get playing around with your gear. Play around with, your gems. Look at your stats. If you want to know, like, if you start from nothing, like, I'll put on, like, my gathering gear. And you're like, well, I got all this gear. I don't know what to do with it. Start playing around with it. Put on, like, if you want to go infantry, say, okay, which one of these has infantry stats? Okay, that one has infantry stats. Okay, put that on. This one, I think, is infantry. Yeah, there you go. That's infantry. Put that on. Now, if that's all the gear you got, well, let's see how much infantry attack I have. Go to the little spyglass right here. My infantry attack is at 300. Well, can I put any more on that? What else do I got? Okay, here's infantry. And finally, when you do that enough and you get familiar with your gear, you can start making sets. Like, this is my full infantry gear. And I look at my spyglass. 514% infantry attack. And that's what you want to get familiar with. And use Lord's Mobile Dressing Room. If you don't have access to it, I have a paid account on there, and I can show you whatever you want to know. Just message me online. Boom, it's there. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. I can ramble on forever. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, or reach out to anybody else you notice that always has prisoners, because they know what I know. And knowing this guild and the family that we are, anybody in this guild is going to help you if they know information. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to any R4 or an R5 and ask for help, because we are more than willing to share our knowledge of this game with you guys if you want to learn. Ask questions. Always. I know many people in this guild already, because so many of you have reached out to me just to say hi and start a conversation. And I love that. And I can tell you that most people in this guild, if not all the people in this guild, will help each other with whatever you need or anything you want to learn. Like, this guild is awesome. And I'm glad to be in it, and I'm glad to be a part of the leadership of this guild. And all the other R4s and Princess T, they've been great to work with. They're such great people. So, take advantage of it. Be friendly. Say hi, Anyway, guys, take care. And we're going to have some shows coming to you with me and somebody else here pretty soon. And we're going to be going over game mechanics. So it's just going to be for our guild. We're not doing it on YouTube. We're not doing anything else, but it's just for our guild to help out with game mechanics. But look forward to those. All right. Talk to you later, guys.